What is up, duelists? This is ARAM Yu-Gi-Oh here, and let me go ahead and start off by being real honest. Us as the players kind of messed it up with Kaijus. Um, Thinking forward to the next ban list, I don't know when we're gonna get that, but obviously it's either gonna be between Raging Tempest, Fusion Enforcers, or after Fusion Enforcers. More than likely, we probably will get it before Fusion Enforcers. It might help sell Fusion Enforcers, whatever is gonna be in that set. Um. But taking a look at something I think that's really going to get hit in the next ban list is Kaijus, just because I've been seeing so much Kaiju love in all these archetypes that Kaijus were not like intended to be in. Konami made a TCG archetype that they thought was going to be really cool, and is cool. The idea of Kaijus are really cool. You get one, I get one, we fight it out, whatever. And besides the idea of being really cool, it's just really splashable in basically any deck out there. They even have Shadal Kaiju trains. They have Kaiju ABC, Kaiju Fluffle, Kaiju Blue Eyes, Kaiju even in Toads, Heroes. It's just so good at getting rid of problematic cards that your deck can't get rid of easily. And history of Konami has shown us whenever there's an archetype or there's an engine or a couple of cards out there, or even one card that makes something really generic and easy, they typically try to hit it. Now, it being an archetype means that they're gonna have to find a way to hit this, and they're more than likely gonna hit Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Why Kaiju Slumber? Because it is so good. Even if you're just playing Kaijus and no Kaiju Slumber, the way to get rid of the main problem with everyone using Kaijus would probably be Slumber, just because it's a dark hole. It gets rid of your field, yeah, it gets rid of their field, and it summons two Kaijus. And when is your opponent really gonna give you the Kaiju that has the most attack? Honestly, unless they're freaking stupid or something, they're not gonna give you the better Kaiju. They're gonna keep the better Kaiju. They're gonna go ahead and run over yours. And not only that, this card replaces itself by banishing it. You can grab a Kaiju from your deck and add it to your hand. That is ridiculously good. It's a good card. And looking back at what Konami has done with other cards and archetypes, generic rank 4 Evil Swarm Exciting Knight, bro, this card, 2 level 4s, if you're falling behind, sweep the board and go ahead and try to start all over. It's that good. Tour Guide, when it came out, so pricey, but this card was so good. Basically, if you let the effect go off, you had a rank 3 right there. The Pepe engine with the perform mages, man. That was so good. It was making other decks be able to play Pendulum. I was playing Pendulum Dolces and Pendulum Heroes with this archetype, and it was giving me massive boards that opponents could not get over, and I was winning locals, and I was about to take it to regionals, but it got hit before I could take it to regionals. Kieran, splashable Pendulum card that they had to hit. Max C, another card that every deck was able to access, and if you're able to put Max C in there, it helps you. It helps you survive if they can't OTK you, because they'll give you a huge hand, and they're just gonna have to deal with it. Also with Vanity's Emptiness, another one card. They got reprinted, and everyone was able to get their hands on 2 or 3 of them, and Konami was seeing that everyone was able to play it, that they had to hit it. E-Telly was played in Cosmos, Super Quantums. Some people played it in Ritual Beast. People played it in that Omega Synchro deck that looped your whole hand. All examples of generic kind of cards that were able to splash in other decks that Konami sees that, and they know that they have to hit it in order for people to play more of generic kind of the archetype, the way it was meant to be played, without having to use all these other cards. Because then everyone starts playing these other cards, and it's just like generic, and I don't know. Konami does some weird things that just cannot be explained. But again, back to Kaijus. None of these monsters really, I would say, are like broken on their own. You can play any of these in any deck, and it should be fine. Some people run a lot of them. Some people run just a few, maybe 2 or 3, even 4. But if you're going to run a huge amount, you're going to have to run Kaiju Slumber, and this is a card that is really the nuts, man. It's just going to bam, all over your face, all over the field, all over the mat, whatever. You see this card, you know you're going to have to start playing you're going to have to rethink your moves. You're playing your deck. I hate this because it's just so weird a word. You're playing a game against an opponent. and you think everything's going well. You actually seem to have the upper hand, a little bit of the advantage on here. But they play this card on you. If you have no response to this, bam, you lose your field. You get stuck with a card that you don't want, that they're just about to run over. And you know that at any possible chance, if you bring out a boss monster that you can't 100% protect, they're just going to grab another kaiju from their deck and tribute your boss monster. So those are my thoughts, that Konami are probably, more than likely, this would be a surprise ban, but really shouldn't be a surprise ban in the next ban list. And it's all because so many top decks are playing it, so many rogue decks are playing it, so many decks are playing it. And I know they have been a little lenient. Like the last ban list, they didn't hit Brilliant Fusion, even though a lot of decks were playing it. And they didn't hit like Speedroid Tarot Top. That doesn't mean they won't hit in the next ban list, but I really think that they didn't hit those cards because they knew that coming into the next format that we're coming up, that we're in now, that those decks, cards that really use those decks that really use those cards, we're not going to be viable, and we're not going to be like extremely strong competitors. But I don't think Konami ever really saw this being as good as it is today, just because the archetype itself didn't really take off on its own. Anyways, guys, those were my thoughts and my opinions on the Kaijus and about the next coming ban list. If you guys have any comments you want to share, go ahead and put them in the comment section down below. If not, I'll catch all you duelists in the next video.